Hello everyone and welcome to the third channel. Hope you enjoyed that intro there. Now if you're watching this on YouTube you'll see my face. If you listen to this on iTunes, Spotify or Google Podcasts, you'll hear the intro, but they'll see my face now on YouTube on the third channel, the weird side. But at the beginning of the video they'll just see the logo for PODDLEBOX and the intro. Now, we're doing PODDLEBOX episode 1. Now, the way it's going to run is that every episode I'll talk about the latest series of Gogglebox, and I'll talk about my favourite bits of Gogglebox, who my favourite families are in the UK version, then talk briefly every episode about different opinions on international versions and spin-offs and other than that. So, because this week we haven't had an episode of... Oh, sorry about that, guys. We haven't had an episode of Gogglebox apart from this festive special recently. Because Gogglebox is on hiatus at the moment. We're back in February because it just ended the last series before Christmas. It did have Gogglebox, Best of Gogglebox 2020, which was 2 hours long. And yeah, so let's get into the review. Now, in the review, sorry there was a little jump cut there, there was just a few technical issues I had to sort out. That's why there was a little cut. So, in the festive special, which was amazing, we watched a program called Inside KFC, and you got to see these new gravy burgers, which is like a KFC burger, but with a little Yorkshire pudding dip in the middle for the gravy. It looked alright. So yeah, so that was I really enjoyed the festive special. It was interesting, funny as usual. Now, what I wanted to talk about in today's episode is my thoughts on the global international version. There's 15 versions similar to Taskmaster, also having 15 international versions. There's about 5 I think that speak English. So we've got the English version, the US version, the Canadian version, the Irish version, the Australian version, and the New Zealand version. Now the UK version, which is the original, its predecessor, it's like international one is the Irish version, which is very similar, as in the families are really similar, and the program they watch are sort of similar, because in Ireland they've got a lot of the channels we've got, and a lot of programs are on there. But then the New Zealand version is similar to the Australian version, and I'll talk about that a bit more. Now, my favourite international version that doesn't include the UK original is Gogglebox Island, because the families are funny, the program they watch are interesting. And my mum was saying this week that you learn by watching these international versions, you learn more about how people are in these countries, about what they watch. So in New Zealand, which I was just watching before I recorded this, they watched the Great Kiwi Bake Off. UK, we watched the Great British Bake Off. Now, with the Irish version, the only issue I've got is that they don't watch Ireland's Got Talent. If they're ever going to watch a Got Talent, it's either the American version or the British version, which is a bit odd because Ireland's got their own Got Talent, which I think they should start watching. But Gogglebox internationally works really well. Now, the American version did fail. I've not seen that one, but it did fail. The US, I didn't like the US celebrity version. That's rubbish. But in the US, it's not called Gogglebox. It's called Celebrity Watch Party and the People's Couch. The normal version was called the People's Couch. The celebrity version was called Celebrity Watch Party, which I don't like how they've renamed it. Because in New Zealand, it's called Gogglebox New Zealand. Australia's called Gogglebox Australia, and Ireland's called Gogglebox Ireland. Now, there's other international versions such as China, Japan, Italy, Spain, Finland, and that's the only ones I can think of off the top. Oh, Germany, Belgium, a lot of those. Now, the English-speaking ones are really good. Now, the Irish version is a little bit different. Now, when the series ends, they do a special series called Throwback, where they, instead of watching the programs in the last 7 days, they watch programs from the last, few decades. And it's about how a lot of them are young in this. So they watch programs that they've never seen, And then in the latest Christmas special, they had people from other countries, like from Australia, no, from New Zealand, Germany, and the UK, because everyone on there, at least one of them, was British. No, I mean, sorry, not British. I meant Irish, because they connected him with the families because they had been abroad for so long, and they hadn't seen the families in years because they were now living in another country, and I thought that was quite sweet. I've not seen any other version do that. Now, I'm not the hugest fan of Gogglebox New Zealand. Some of the families are funny, but it's generally not as funny as Gogglebox UK, Ireland, and Australia. Now, the Australian version was shown for the first 3 series on Channel 4, which is the original broadcaster for Gogglebox in the first place, but now the UK didn't really have a provider for the show. Now, you can watch the first 3 series on all 4 of Gogglebox Australia. Gogglebox Series 7 to 16 is available on all 4. You can watch Series 9 to 13 on Netflix as the UK version, and Series 7 to Series 13 on Amazon Prime. Gogglebox did make an error this week, or last week. On the 10th, Sunday the 10th, they were supposed to add Series 5 to Gogglebox UK to Netflix UK and Ireland, but instead they added Series 13, which is false advertisement because they're still advertising Series 5, which is an issue. It's a big, major problem, and I don't know why they did that. I don't know why. Now, E4 shows Gogglebox all the time, as well as their American shows, but E4 also shows the program Goggles Progs, which is a kids version, which should have been on like a kids sector of Channel 4, but Channel 4 and the kids sector. Like Channel 5 is Milkshake, the BBC have got CBC, CBBS, and ITV have got CITV. Now, Channel 4 needs their own area, so Goggles Pogs was the kids watching like Lion King and kid-friendly programs and films, and it's interesting to see their reaction. And then there was also another one that I hated Vlogglebox. It's like watching the internet. Pete and Sophie had their first ever appearance on that, which they were on a bus, which didn't appeal to me. Vlogglebox was awful. No wonder it got cancelled. The celebrity version isn't that great either. Some of the celebrities on it are good, but no, I wouldn't choose to watch it. I've seen it, so now I know it isn't my cup of tea, but I wouldn't choose to watch it because it wasn't the greatest thing on planet Earth. I preferred all the other versions of the show. The international versions are brilliant, and in every episode I will tell you my thoughts on the latest series and my thoughts on episodes from the international Gogglebox. Now, I'll only do the ones that speak English because I don't speak any other language, so I can't properly translate and work out what's going on as well as I can with the others. So you will only get to see me talk about Gogglebox Ireland, Gogglebox New Zealand, and Gogglebox Australia, which, in my opinion, are the best international versions. So, have you enjoyed today's episode? First episode of the podcast. It won't be coming regularly, but it'll come every so often. Now, what's your thoughts? In the next episode, I will announce the Gogglebox email, so you can email PODDLEBOX to put in your question about the show. So, that'll be coming soon. And I also have a Facebook page now for the podcast, which will be linked in the description in the future, not just yet, because they've still got a few bits to sort out. So, have you enjoyed this video? Hope you have. Time on, time out. Bye!